Hello, welcome everyone to How to Land Your Dream Job, an inside look into World Class Career Academy. I'm so excited that you all were waiting to join me today. It is such a pleasure to have you here. Wherever you are joining us from the world. In fact, make sure you give this video a big, huge thumbs up if you can hear audio and audio is coming through for you okay. And remember to comment in the chat, as always, where are you joining us today from? So where in the world are you coming to us today from? This was kind of an impromptu live stream just to give you a quick look inside World Class Career Academy. Now, I know that I was live 5 days last week. We had a blast. I want to remind you that if you haven't yet had the chance to take a look at the 5-day live stream from last week, we covered some serious ground. Everything from how to interview and how to interview with confidence and ease, to how to use LinkedIn to build a profile and market yourself online. We covered a lot of ground: job searching, resume writing. We even talked a little bit about cover letters. If you have not yet had the chance to see that live stream from last week, make sure you jump on over after we're done with this inside look into World Class Career Academy. Make sure you take a look at that. Also, I wanted to remind you really quickly that we have our last day last week, our 5th day, how to write a resume that highlights your abilities and your experience. That live stream is expiring today, so it will no longer be available for you to view after midnight Pacific Standard Time today. So if you haven't yet seen that training, you definitely want to go ahead and take a look at that. We have had hundreds of people already view the training. Make sure you view it before that training expires. It was one of the most popular ones from last week. A lot of you are wondering how to write the perfect resume. So that's really what we covered last week. Now, again, if you're joining us as on a replay, or if you're jumping into the chat today, make sure you let us know where you are coming to us from. Looks like we have a lot of you in here already. Hello. Remember to say hi. Let us know who you are, where you are joining us from. Also, I will be answering questions at the end. So I will be answering a lot of questions about the program that just launched on Friday, World Class Career Academy. And if you have any other career questions you'd like me to answer, feel free to ask those as well. We'll be taking some time at the end to ask those questions. Now, if you weren't with me on Friday to get that workshop, again, remember to go ahead and take a look at that. That expires tonight at midnight Pacific Standard Time, so you won't be able to see that. That workshop is going to be removed from YouTube, and it's going to be placed inside World Class Career Academy for the students that have enrolled in the program already. And we already have some amazing professionals that are ready to join me in that program, and I hope that you will do the same. Also, remember that today is the last day for early bird enrollment. So what that means is if you get in early, you actually save $100 on the program. So if you get in early, today is the last day for early bird enrollment. Again, that expires at Pacific Standard Time, midnight tonight. So are you guys ready to jump in and get started? We have a lot to cover. So we are going to basically take you through World Class Career Academy and what you will get when you enroll in the program. Or if you've already enrolled and you're here joining me, you'll get an inside peek into what the program is all about. So let me go ahead and I am going to jump into, we're going to just get started. We're getting right into it. So this right here that you see now, this is the opening screen to World Class Career Academy. Now, inside the program, I use an online learning platform called Teachable. Now, if you've heard my story and you know me, I have been teaching university courses for 15 years, specifically online for 10. And I have had a lot of opportunity to design and create courses and use many different online learning platforms, Canvas, Blackboard, all sorts of things. And Teachable is the program that I've decided to use for my program, only because it's super easy to use. So when you first jump into World Class Career Academy, you'll actually have a screen that looks similar to this. And from here, you can scroll through and look at all the lessons. So I want to give you a quick deep dive into some of these lessons. Now you'll notice that you get a welcome module and kind of an introduction to the course. This is where I talk all about the dates that we have coming up and specifically our group coaching program. So in a couple weeks, we start group coaching. So if you are in the program, you get to jump into a private community with just those that have enrolled in the program. Now, let me go through this a little bit. Module 1, we talk all about your dream job jumpstart. So this is where we really lay the foundation for where are you going to start when it comes to your job search. A lot of people, when they first job search, they have no idea they have an idea of what they're looking for, but they're having a hard time pinpointing, what are their career goals? What are their career objectives? What positions will fit well with them? What positions won't fit well with them? So you'll notice inside Dream Job Jumpstart, we have 5 video lessons. So 5 video lessons dedicated to just teaching you really how to be a success with your job search. Now, there is a resource that I want to show you really quickly inside this module. It's a PDF document, but you also have it as a Google Doc in case you don't have access to PDF for some reason, or in case you want to type on it electronically. So a lot of times people either print out this workbook or they will use Google Docs and just type in their responses to help them better organize their job search. So again, that is inside of Module 1. Now let me just take a quick sneak peek I'm just clicking on one of the lessons, and let me just make sure it's muted. Yeah, so you're not going to hear me talking. So in this lesson, it's me actually walking through the workbook. So you'll notice that I can fast forward all the way to whatever minute I'm on, and I'm still kind of talking through it, and I'm going through some screen shares, and I'm talking to you about really how to pinpoint your resume and all your career documents for that one position. So again, that is inside Module 1. Now here's the cool thing when it comes to the teachable platform, you can there's at the top, and I know my head's in the way, but at the top on the left it says previous lecture, and then on the right it says complete and continue. So that means you can continue on to the next lecture. So if I go ahead and I press on that, that's going to take me to lesson 5. So then I just kind of continue on through the lessons. Now let me jump into the module workbook really quick so you can kind of take a look at that. Now if I scroll up, you can see that in a PDF document. I actually want to show you a little bit closer look at this document. So this is the workbook that you will get inside of Module 1. And inside this workbook, I'll just kind of scroll through it just a little bit. I walk you through, some of the things about how to plan your job search. We talk a little bit more about your self-discovery. We do a self-assessment exercise. Part 1, again, is the self-discovery. So I have you ask questions to yourself that will help you really pinpoint some of those things that will help you hone in on those jobs so that you're not wasting all this time trying to hone in on positions that may or may not fit who it is that you are as an individual. Okay, let me jump back to World Class Career Academy now so you can kind of see what we're looking at. So that's a Module 1 in a nutshell. If I scroll down, you'll see Module 2. Again, these are all video lessons. So you have 4 video lessons in here that talk to you about your personal brand. So it's really one of those important things that help you really hone in on those positions that fit you well, and it helps you develop your career documents so that they better fit who you are as a person. And they tell the employer, hey, why should you hire me for this job? So that's in Module 2, again, personal brand development. You'll notice that we have a lesson in there, which is a really big one on how to write your achievement statement. So if I click on that, let me just show you a quick sneak peek into that one. So you'll notice that I'm talking a little bit about achievement statements, and I'm telling you how to really write achievement statements and what the what's the important part to those, and why should you have your achievement statements be so powerful when it comes to your resume. Okay, let's take a look. I'm going to just jump back here. So you'll notice inside this platform, it's super easy to navigate. That's why I love it. You can see all your lessons at a glance really quickly. You can see which ones you've completed and which ones you haven't. Now let's look at Module 3, which is the top half of your resume. So this is where we talk about the most important sections on your resume. So again, we know that when a hiring official receives a resume, the first thing they're looking at is the top portion. So how can you make the top portion of your resume stand out above everyone else so that you can get called in for the interview? So that's really where we focus on. There's 5 video lessons just on the top half of your resume. Now, if I keep scrolling down here, notice Module 4. This is where we're taking an inside look at your resume. So now we're talking about what work experience do you have, and how can you formulate that to show that you are the best candidate? Do you have volunteer experience? And if you do, how should that be written in your resume? We talk about how to write your education and your training. And then most importantly, we talk about other sections on your resume, like professional memberships or special skills or technical skills. We talk all about that in Lesson 4 of Module 4. Now let me scroll down here. Module 5 is all about your resume design and formatting. So this is where we really look at what type of formatting can you use to really grab their attention. So again, white space, headings, font size, and font type are a really big deal when it comes to your resume. And I have a special how-to tutorial in here on how to actually format your resume. So a lot of times, and I'm going to show you some of the templates that you'll get inside this course. A lot of times we get a template and we're like, how do I change the format, or how do I change the font, or this margin isn't lining up. I show you exactly how to do all of that so that it's kind of a no-brainer. It makes sense, and it's super easy to follow. Now, Module 6 is all about resume special case scenarios. So I have a lot of people that approach me that say, Heather, I have gaps in my employment. How can I put this on my resume? I have a module dedicated just to that. And then I also have another lesson dedicated to if you have little or no work experience. So again, this is really powerful for anyone that's just entering the job market. This could be a college student, this could be a high school student, or anyone that's just getting started. Really, that lesson takes you for little or no work experience. So again, your resume is going to be formatted differently depending on your situation. So I give you plenty of templates to choose from so that you can really make sure that your resume is formatted how it needs to be. And then here is our bonus workshop. This one it's such a fun one. You'll notice that this, and it's not letting me scroll all the way down. Let me see if I can pull it up just a little bit. This one is all about your cover letter. So in your cover letter, there are five lessons just for you to learn how to create a cover letter. So we talk about the foundation of your cover letter, the start to your cover letter. So how do you start? What goes in the middle of your cover letter? How do you end your cover letter? How do you tell your career story? That's one of the hardest things for people, is how can I show an employer where I've been and where I am now in a very compelling way that makes them want to bring me in for an interview and then ultimately hire me and give me the job. So again, that is our bonus workshop. Now let me scroll up a little bit because there is something in here I want to show you. This is the World Class Career Academy template pack. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and let's see if it will let us download this. So I can kind of show you some of the things inside it. You can't see this on the screen, but at the very bottom, it is showing the template pack. I don't think it's going to let me show you unless I share a different screen with you. Yep, you can't see it. Inside that template pack, you actually get, there are a number of templates for you in order to just make this whole job search process easier. Your follow-up templates, which include follow-up after an interview, follow-up after a phone interview, an in-person interview. You'll also get a follow-up if you were rejected. So let's say that they just said, hey, you're not the right person for the position. We're just not going to bring you in. We decided to go in another direction. I give you an exact script that you can use to send a message back to them to either keep that relationship open or to say, hey, that's okay that you've gone this direction. I'm still here. I'm still available. I still think I'm the right fit. So I give you an exact script for that. The other thing, that we go through is references template. How do you write your references? Let's say you need to resign from your current job. How can you write that letter of resignation? And then, of course, all the resume templates that you could possibly need. So again, this portion of the course or of the program is jam-packed with everything you need. So this is at your fingertips. As soon as you enroll, you will have access to all of these lessons to walk you through the exact steps that you need to land your dream job. Now, the next thing I want to show you is, let's take a look at, and this is one of my favorite parts only because I love LinkedIn so much. Let's take a look at, let's see, I think it's this tab right here. There we are. This is our LinkedIn portion of the course. So remember, with your enrollment, you get level up with LinkedIn with your enrollment. So this is basically a free course inside World Class Career Academy that you will get just to figure out how to use LinkedIn. I know I get a lot of questions from a lot of people that just have no idea how to use LinkedIn. Now I want to make sure you guys are still here with me. So in the chat, as I'm going through this, in the chat, pop in let me know, how comfortable are you with LinkedIn? Give me a yes if you are comfortable with LinkedIn and you know how to use it. Give me a no if you still have some questions about the program. So give me a yes in the chat if you enjoyed the program and you kind of know how to use LinkedIn, or give me a no if you're not sure how to use LinkedIn. Now I'm going to kind of go into some of the comments here while you guys are letting me know if LinkedIn is a program you are comfortable with. Kiran, hello, how are you, from India? He is one of my members inside of the Career Club on Facebook. Love the comments and addition that you have in that group. I also love Mind Your Business. I know that you've been with us last week in some of the workshops. I love your screen name, by the way, and you said salute to your dedication, ma'am. Thank you. Yes, I love all things career development, as you probably already know. So I'm glad that you guys are here to join me. So we have another person in here saying no. So no, LinkedIn is not something that you're familiar with. Jitesh, hello, how are you, my friend? Says yes. And then Sullivan says still a beginner with LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of those platforms that it is becoming so much more prominent for job searchers or job seekers or job hunters. So if you are in the process of job seeking, or you're even trying to grow a business, you definitely need to know how to use this platform, because it will help you connect with so many people in so many ways. So let me go through really quickly what's inside World Class Career Academy and the Level Up with LinkedIn portion. So inside here, we start with a welcome and then an introduction to LinkedIn. So I basically walk you through, what is LinkedIn and why is it so popular, and why on earth do you need to be using the platform? So again, I walk you through some of the content in there. I'll just kind of fast forward so you can show. I'm talking a little bit about Mr. T in this one. It's the largest platform. So again, this is a video that's running right now inside of the platform. Now I'm going to go ahead and go back so I can give you a greater view of that. So that was just our introduction video. Then you'll notice in Module 7, we break down your LinkedIn profile. So I share with you 7 of the LinkedIn profile pieces that you need in order to build a successful profile. So we go from we talk all about the profile photo, all the way to writing recommendations. So again, all of these are video modules. So these are videos of me explaining to you what you need to do. And inside these video modules, I have templates for you. So let's say you're wondering, hey, I really want to write a really solid LinkedIn summary. I have a template for you to use that will help you write your LinkedIn summary. So all of that is inside the course. Now let me show you module 2. This is where we're talking about other important sections to your LinkedIn profile. Licenses and certifications. Do you have any of those? If you do, how do we display that to the world? So I talk about that. We talk about how to display your volunteer experience, accomplishments, interests, all that jizz-majazz, if that's even a word. And then module 3, we go through how to find new opportunities on LinkedIn. So how can you find and apply for a job? I talk to you about how do you find and connect with people. Okay, so that's a big mystery to people, is how can I connect with the right people that will lead me to where I want to be in my career? So we talk all about that. We also talk about career interests. So again, in lesson 3, the career interest section. Now this is different than lesson 4 of module 2, which is interests. We're now looking at career interests. So interests is a totally different thing, and I explain that inside of this course. And then finally in module 4, we have 5 lessons. I know you can't see on this screen all 5 lessons, but we have 5 lessons on how to make LinkedIn more user-friendly. One of my favorite parts to this is, let me see if I can, oh, maybe it will let me squish up my screen. Give me just, oh, there we go. Okay, much better. So inside of this portion, we have how to keep your data secure. So again, with all of the debacle right now with other social media platforms, and is our information secure? Is it being sold? Is it whatever that might be? We talk about how to keep your information secure on LinkedIn. How much information is too much? Because LinkedIn, they do ask you to share all your demographic information. And I talk to you about that in the course. Should you do that? Or maybe you don't want to do that. We also talk about how to use the news feed. So if a company makes a post that you want to work for, what can you say to a post that they make? Should you give their post a thumbs up? Should you try and reach out to people that made the post or that work for the company? Whatever that might be, we go through all of that in detail in this course. So again, let me just show you a quick preview. This is Level Up with LinkedIn. So this is the LinkedIn portion of World Class Career Academy. And then again, this is, let me show you the main part. This is World Class Career Academy, and these are all the lessons that you have access to forever. Now, here's the cool thing. If I ever make a change to any of these lessons, you have the update. You will always have the update. Even if in 1 year I make a change, you will get access to that change. So let's say LinkedIn, which is always changing, they change something on their platform. I will update my course and you will always have access to that change. Okay, again, and if you have questions about the course, feel free to pipe into the chat or comment down below if you're listening to this as the replay, what your question is. Tell me what your question is so that we can get those. I do have some questions that we will answer at the end. Okay, one more thing I want to show you before I show you how enrollment works is, let me go ahead and I want to show you really quickly the group coaching calls. So to me, group coaching is essential when it comes to this kind of stuff, when it comes to finding a job and really having the tools and the resources that you need to make sure that you're successful. So inside of World Class Career Academy, we have, as soon as you enroll, our first group coaching call is in 2 weeks. Well, technically, 2 weeks from today. Group coaching calls start. We are all together in a group, and I am answering your questions and walking you through even more information and more action steps that you can take to make sure you are finding and landing that job. Now, we have every other week for 6 weeks. Now, if you're not able to attend the coaching call live, I give you the opportunity to ask questions before the call even starts, and you submit your questions to me, and then I answer them on the recorded call. So all of these calls you will have access to once they are finished inside our members only Facebook group. So only us, our exclusive group of World Class Career Academy students, will have access to these calls and will be able to view the recordings and ask questions. So again, this is your opportunity to really make sure you're taking the right steps toward your career. Now, I want to go ahead and I want to show you the enrollment page. So I have an enrollment page here. Let me pop it up really quick because I want to show you really quickly how easy this is to enroll. So this is the enrollment page for World Class Career Academy. You'll notice that we only have 14 hours and 45 minutes left for the early bird enrollment. Now you'll still be able to enroll up until Thursday of this week, but early bird enrollment ends today. So you want to make sure if this is a program you're thinking of and you want to save yourself $100, you want to enroll before midnight tonight, Pacific Standard Time. Now my team will pop this link into the chat. It's worldclasscareer.academy. This link is going to give you, let me jump back one more time because we have a couple links here. Oh, it's the same. It's the same link. worldclasscareer.academy/course and worldclasscareer.academy is the same. It's the exact same thing. So I guess that doesn't matter. Anyway, on the enrollment page, you'll be able to scroll through, and I do want you to take some time because I want you to really consider, is this program right for me? And I have a section on here that says this program's right for you if, or this program is not right for you if. So you really want to make sure you read that because it might not be right for you. And you want to make sure before you jump in and go head deep in this program, which is an amazing program for job seekers, make sure it's right for you. But as you scroll down, I want to show you just some of the things that you'll be able to look at. Scroll down, read through all of this. I want to know, have you spent hours doing online research, learning how to write the perfect resume? So I kind of talked to you about this. Maybe you're still waiting for job offers or callbacks or whatever that might be. So scroll through this page and just read through some of the content and make sure that this sounds like me. This is something that I have had questions on and I've really wanted to do for so long. I'm sick of not landing that job. I'm sick of applying for jobs and not getting callbacks or going on interviews and not getting the job offer at the end of the day. Now I'm going to scroll up really quickly and I want to show you, I'm just going to jump to the pricing grid on this page by clicking on Enroll Now in World Class Career Academy. When I click there, it actually gives me the pricing grid. So here's the cool thing. With the pricing grid, you have two options, and most programs don't have this. You have two options. You can either pay in full. So if you pay in full, you actually save a little bit. If you can't pay in full today, so if this is not an option that works for you, you can do a payment plan of $119 a month. Now again, this is early bird enrollment. So if you just happen to be listening to this, let me shrink up my screen here a little bit. If you just happen to be listening to this after early bird enrollment, these prices have changed. However, if you are listening to this before early bird enrollment ends, you can start for $397. That saves you a little bit. Or you can do $119 a month for the next couple months. Now I'm going to show you how easy this is. So if you click on, let me get my mouse over there. If I'm going to do the pay in full offer, I'm going to click on Start Now. And looks like it's thinking it's going to take us over to a shopping cart. So once we are inside the shopping cart software, this is where we will go through and we'll enter our details. Again, remember you only have 14 hours. So at the end of the day today, this offer does not exist anymore. You'll go through, you'll fill out your information here. Notice on the right-hand side, I want you to pay close attention to the right-hand side. This shows you what's included in the program. So again, you get 6 modules, which I showed you all 6 of those modules with 30 step-by-step video lessons. So all those video lessons, You get the bonus cover letter training. I showed you all the videos in that one, the bonus LinkedIn course, and I think the LinkedIn course has maybe 25 videos in there. You get all the templates. Again, I'm looking on the right-hand side of the page. You get the workbook and the checklists. You get 2 months of live coaching. Now, this would normally cost someone $2,000 just to sign up for the live coaching. So you get that inside World Class Career Academy. Of course, we get our members only Facebook group, and we also get lifetime access to the course. So once you've made your decision on which payment plan works for you, you'll jump over to the screen. You can pay with PayPal. I have a lot of people that pay with PayPal, and that's totally fine if you want to do PayPal, or you can select your credit card, and you can even use Stripe. Makes it super duper easy. Now, I want to just show you really quickly. I'm going to jump back because I want to show you really quickly if you decide to do the payment plan. Is it gone? There we go. If you decide to do the payment plan, you can click on the Start Now. This is going to take you to a different section. This is going to take you to what's called partial.le. This is it's very secure. You'll go in and set up your account, and then you'll notice on the right-hand side, it shows you the payment plan total. So today you start for $119, and then you have 3 payments of that. So pretty easy, pretty basic. Nothing that you guys haven't seen before online. Again, the payment plan's a great option if you feel like you can't do the $397 upfront. Remember that this offer only lasts through midnight tonight. So if you are on the fence and you're thinking about this program and you want to save yourself $100, definitely get in and do this as soon as you can. Again, the link is worldclasscareer.academy. My team has probably already popped that into the chat for you. Make sure you jump over that. I showed you exactly how to go through the payment plan the payment methods and what's inside the course. Now, I do want to show you, let's see, I want to answer some questions because I know I've had quite a few questions come in. So if you have any, feel free to pop them in. I want to circle back around because I had Kathy, who was here last week. She asked a question and I wanted to make sure I answered her question. And then I have a few more that I'm going to answer. So Kathy says, I used to do programming along with some business analyst work. How should I tailor my resume for a business analyst job, as I don't want to go back to programming? She says, I won't want to do programming, but go into a business analyst position. She says that she wants to write programming achievement statements, or should she write statements related to the business analyst? She's wondering how to tailor her resume. So this is a really good question. When it comes to your resume, if you have one position and you're kind of leaning toward another, but you have skills in one area, my recommendation, hands down, Kathy, and anyone else that's in this situation, is to focus on your transferable skills. So these are skills that maybe you've done as a programmer. So a lot of analytical skills. As a programmer, what can you say that you've also done that can apply to a business analyst position? Now, I would include some programming statements in there, but make them tailored more toward that business analyst position. You do want to show them that you have that skill set, because I think that is a strong skill set to have. However, how does that relate to business analyst work? And try and make that connection in your resume. Good question, Kathy. Okay, and I have a couple more questions here. Okay, someone says, when does the course start and end? So these are some questions that I've gotten just over the last couple of days. So here's the cool thing. You have access to all the course modules, the video lessons, the workbooks, the templates, all the bonus material as soon as you enroll. So all that is right at your fingertips. And it lasts until you're either finished with it or until the internet blows up, right? Which hopefully will never happen. And then from there, you can kind of go at your own pace and work at your own pace. Now, we do have more of a timeline on our group coaching calls. Those are every other week for 6 weeks. And those are really just to help you speed the process along. Okay, another question that I got. What time are the live implementation calls? So every 2 weeks we have live implementation calls that will be coming through, and these are going to be scheduled. Right now they're scheduled for every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, if you're not able to attend, remember what I mentioned earlier. You can submit a question or any of your questions ahead of time. I will answer them live on the call, and then you can always listen to the recording. So it's a great way to get the information you need if you're not able to catch us live. Okay, another question came in, how to explain employment gaps. I know that this question came in a lot over the 5-day workshop that we had last week. Now, when it comes to employment gaps, you really have to show them why you are a star in other areas of your life. So use your professional summary to really make that point. Talk about it in your professional summary a little bit, like what other skills that they will read. Also, mention some of your greatest accomplishments. So yeah, although you might have had a gap, what are some of the greatest things that you've accomplished in your work history or in your education? Include that in your summary as well. Good question though. Okay, I also wanted to circle back around. So Natalie asked a question a couple of days ago, and she was asking about her resume, the layout of her resume, if she should have columns or tables. So Natalie, I actually did a little bit of research on this because I wanted you to be aware of really if you should use tables or columns. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. If you are using now tables and columns, they do organize your information nicely. It makes it look nice and neat. The only problem is that applicant tracking systems, they look at these features as an error on your resume. So what happens is when they're reading the resume, it actually starts putting the information out of order. So meaning that it's going to flag it for some strange thing and use that 2-column format because of that reason. So I'd be really careful doing that. Now, if you want to use the column format, definitely don't use tables, but if you want to use the column format, make sure you format it strategically so that if an applicant tracking system is going to read your resume, they're going to read from left to right. So make sure that information that's on the left is being read first, and then the information on the right would follow right underneath it. I hope that helps answer your question. Awesome questions, guys. Okay, I do have one more, and then any other, let's see. I'm going to look at the chat really quickly. So Jitesh, hello, how are you? Jitesh says, I am working as telecom architect. Awesome, a semi-manager's role. Perfect. I wish to move to a technical manager's role with a major telecom player. What should my resume contain about my experience? Please help. Okay, Jitesh, so your resume needs to heavily emphasize how can you lead a team? How can you get others to do certain tasks, or what are some of the accomplishments you've had in the past that can relate to a managerial role or a leadership role. So really start focusing on how are you a leader? What makes you a leader, and what are some of those things in your past? How can that translate into you being a leader? So focus heavily on that. And then Jitesh, another thing that I want to mention is try and network or try and develop those relationships with anyone that's higher up in your company that might be making those decisions. Okay, so let's say you know someone that ultimately is going to be making that managerial decision about who's going to be the manager or who's going to be the next leader. Butter them up a little bit. Make sure you get to know them, develop a relationship with them. Make sure they know who you are. Okay, Tadra says, I have over 10 years of experience and held multiple positions. Fantastic. It's hard getting my resume under 4 pages. Any good tips? Okay, yes. So here's the thing. You definitely don't want your resume over 2 pages, okay? Hiring officials are looking at so many resumes all the time. Now, I come from an academic background, so I have the tendency to create a very long, lengthy resume. So Tadra, I've been in your same situation. What you really want to focus on is what of your skills and your accomplishments relate just to that job. What relates to that job, and really get rid of all the rest. Okay. So what I would do is, what I would recommend doing is either have your resume out on a paper, you printed it out, or maybe it's on the screen. Go through your resume like one page at a time. Highlight just the things that are relating to the position you're applying for. Okay, so just those things. Now, of course, keep your 4-page resume on hand, save it somewhere and leave it there, but create a new copy of that resume and highlight just the things that are to anyone, but we're just using it as reference, almost like that's your journal. That's your journal of all the things you've done. But with all those things that don't relate to the position you are applying for eliminated from your resume, now you want to start bringing it together in a nice cohesive format and really get it down to 2 pages. Very, very, very important that you get it to 2 pages. Okay, Jitesh, awesome. Thank you. Good. I'm glad I was able to answer your question. I know I got a couple emails from you this weekend. So glad to hear from you. Okay, one more question that I want to answer. How long does it take to go through the course? So when it comes to online courses, if you've ever had a chance to, or the opportunity to take one, or online programs, the actual physical part of the course, so all the modules, the video modules, all that stuff, that depends on you. I've had some students that are able to get through all the content in a couple of hours. Now, I do have action steps at the end of every lesson where that's going to take you a little bit of time to get through, not a little bit of time, but that depends on you. That's going to take your initiative is what I'm saying, to actually do the steps. Once you've done those steps, then you move on to the next lesson. Then you do those steps. I've had some people that will complete this within a weekend. I have some people that they're taking their time and they want to, they want to go through the process when they have a chance because maybe they have a full-time job. Again, that's really where the group coaching comes into play, because I ask you, I say, where are you? What are you working on? Are you making progress? Like, I'm kind of that fire under you, or that person that's like moving you forward, so you're not just sitting on all the content. I really want to make sure you're making progress so that you're not stuck in your career, like you're moving forward. So that's really my ultimate goal. So again, I want to thank all of you for coming here. I know that you could be doing 100 things. One quick last reminder: you have until midnight tonight. If you are thinking about this, you want to get off the fence, you have until midnight tonight. Go to worldclasscareer.academy. You'll be able to see some fantastic testimonials. You'll be able to see, what is actually in the program. You'll be able to take advantage of that early bird offer, because that is gone by midnight tonight. Also, the workshop that I did last Friday on how to write your perfect resume, that will be gone tonight as well. So that's going to be gone for good. It's going to be inside of World Class Career Academy for all of those students. So make sure you take a watch, get that workshop in, take notes during it, because we talked about some really fantastic things. And I'm so happy for you guys for joining me today. And I will see you when I go live next. Bye, everyone.